Here's what's trending now on CBS Sports HQ. This season has not been winning time in LA, and according to reports, the Lakers are set to axe head coach Frank Vogel less than 2 years removed from winning the NBA title. The Lakers were expected to be a contender for the title in the Western Conference, but an aging roster that was also poorly constructed and mismanaged saw the team stumble their way to a 33-49 record. They were officially eliminated from playoff contention last Tuesday. Now, things went downhill in LA after the All-Star break. I mean, that's a time when contending teams will traditionally turn it up as they get ready for that back-end home stretch, but not the Lakers. They dropped 18 of 24 games with only the Portland Trail Blazers, Houston Rockets, and Indiana Pacers finishing with worse records during that span. They did end the season with a win, a 146-141 overtime beat of Denver, and here's what Vogel had to say after that when asked about his future.
I haven't been told, and I'm going to enjoy tonight's game, celebrate what these young guys did in terms of scratching the claw and getting back in this game, getting a W, and we'll deal with tomorrow.
Did that get back to you before you walked in this room?
Yes.
Did that affect?
I'm going to enjoy tonight's game and what our guys did tonight and the way we finished out this season. Proud of our guys tonight.
In 3 seasons under Vogel, the Lakers 127-98 in the regular season, 18-9 in the postseason. Of course, winning that 2020 NBA championship in the bubble. With Vogel set to leave, the Lakers will now begin the search for their 6th full-time head coach since Phil Jackson retired in 2011. All right, let's get some thoughts on this situation with our coach, Avery Johnson. Avery, people are going to point to the injuries. They're going to point to the roster construction. But there was also some player management issues and some rotation questions. So, in your opinion, what went wrong here for Frank Vogel and the Lakers?
Well, first of all, Jeremy, I only assign about 2% of the blame for this Lakers debacle with Frank Vogel. And that's not just because I'm a former coach. It's just reality. What went wrong is your 2 best players were not consistently available. LeBron James and Anthony Davis spent an enormous amount of time in the training room or in street clothes. They were not available. And then your 3rd best player, Russell Westbrook, wasn't a good fit. You traded your role players, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Kyle Kuzma. They allowed Alex Caruso to walk in free agency. 3 of the main cogs during their championship run. So it just wasn't the right fit. You signed an aging Carmelo Anthony. So again, and then defensively, which Frank Vogel's built his whole career on, they were arguably at the bottom of the NBA in defense because they don't have defenders. They didn't have enough shooters to surround LeBron James. LeBron James should be at point guard, not playing off the ball. So it was just too many things went wrong this year. This is not Frank Vogel's fault. I assign the blame to their ownership group, which just is not making the Buss family look good from a historical standpoint. The front office, obviously, LeBron James probably had a say-so in trading for Russell Westbrook. So I only assign about 2% of the blame to Frank Vogel. And of course, you're going to have rotation issues. Of course, you're going to have some culture issues, guys texting at halftime. But again, Frank Vogel, if this happens, they'll basically put him out of his misery.
Okay, so a new coaching search is set to begin. But before we talk about potential candidates, I mean, this is a team, they've got draft pick issues. They have salary cap issues. Sure, name recognition. They're the Lakers. But, Coach, when you look at the actual situation surrounding this team, how good of a job is this right now?
Oh, it's still a good job. You're still talking about the Lakers. And with the right quick fixes, if there is one, this is one of the preeminent jobs in all of professional sports. Forget about the names on the back of the jersey, that name on the front of the jersey, and then you're playing in what used to be the Staples Center, now it's Crypto Arena. You're in Los Angeles. You get a chance to coach LeBron James and Anthony Davis when they're healthy, playing in front of that crowd. So the job is still one of the preeminent jobs. But again, the competition has changed. Dallas is better. Look at the Phoenix Suns. They're younger at the top of the Western Conference. You know, you look at teams like Memphis Grizzlies, they're coming. But the Lakers' job is still the Lakers. You're not talking about one of the teams, the bottom sellers that consistently has been at the bottom. You're still talking about the Los Angeles Lakers.
Okay, some names that are being thrown out there: Quinn Snyder, Doc Rivers. I mean, both guys that are in the playoffs. Even Michigan head coach Juwan Howard's name is in there. Maybe there's an Avery Johnson somewhere in that mix. I mean, who are the few top candidates that come to mind for you, Coach?
Well, I like the name Juwan Howard. Also, you can throw in a name like a Mark Jackson, who I think deserves to have an opportunity to get back, especially what he did with Golden State, developing those guys like Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. He told you they were the best shooting backcourt in the history of the NBA. But if I were to get a phone call and I see a 310 number or an 810 number coming up on my phone, I'm going to hit block. All right, I'm not going anywhere. You're not getting rid of me on CBS Sports HQ. I love my lifestyle. So I'm not relocating from Dallas, Texas. I'm staying right here. So if I see a 310 number or a Kurt Rambis or somebody calling me, I'm hitting block.
Okay, but Coach, realistically, I mean, let's say that, you were given a call of some sort, maybe in an advisory capacity. I mean, what's the first thing that you would do with this Lakers team?
The absolute first thing I would do, I would change Anthony Davis off-season workout program. There's something going wrong here. The guy consistently gets injured, and he's not 40 years old. So again, you got to get Anthony Davis healthy. I think the more Anthony Davis is available, the more LeBron James is available. So that's the first thing I'm going to address. The second thing is we got to make sure that we re-sign Malik Monk. You don't want to allow him to go after you've developed him. He's a guy that can knock down some shots. And then you got to figure out what you're going to do with Westbrook. You have to figure out, even if you attach 2 second-round picks to try to move him on, which is going to be even better for him. He needs a change of scenery because this is just not a good fit. So you got to figure out how to move Westbrook, get Anthony Davis healthy.
All right, so it's not official yet. It is still reports that Frank Vogel is going to be let go as head coach of the Lakers. LeBron James is set to speak at noon Eastern time, so that could be interesting. We could get some news around that point in time. But when it comes to Vogel here, Coach, what next for him? Where do you see him going?
Well, Frank Vogel is a really outstanding NBA head coach. So I'm sure he's going to have an opportunity to get in play with if any other jobs become available. Or maybe just take a year off and then come back. But, the bubble, the championship in the bubble, that was an amazing feat to keep his team ready and disciplined. Obviously, the roster changed, but it just shows that any coach, you need your best players to be on board. You need your best players to be coachable and available, and that makes your plays work better. That you have a better culture when everybody's on board. So Frank Vogel, I think he deserves another chance. He's been a coach several times now, Indiana, Orlando, won a championship with the Lakers. I would hate for him to allow his coaching career to end this way and not have another chance.
He is our roundball guy, the coach Avery Johnson, who has confirmed here to us on CBS Sports HQ that he will not be taking the Lakers job. Latest thoughts on the Lakers coaching situation. The team set to part ways with Frank Vogel as early as today. Great to see you, Coach. Always happy to have you here with us on HQ, and we don't want you going anywhere. We want you sticking around with us. All right, the 3 seasons under Vogel, the Lakers 127-98 in the regular season, 18-9 in the postseason. Of course, they did win the NBA title in 2020 in the bubble. Vogel, Phil Jackson, the only men to win NBA championships with the Lakers in the last 3 decades. And with Vogel set to leave, Lakers going to start their search for a 6th full-time head coach since Phil Jackson retired in 2011.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.